Hello, Pre-Algebra, Mr. Lawrence here with your flipped lesson. Today's lesson is gonna be on rotations. And I know some of you, you just always have been good. You can do these in your head, but some of you haven't. Okay, some of you it's like a mystery at how it happens, and the teacher has a hard time explaining. Not Mr. Lawrence. I'm going to show you rotations are simple. There's a couple things you need to know before we can get started. First thing you need to know your quadrants. This is quadrant one, excuse me. And in quadrant one, both x and y are positive in quadrant one. You should know this. This should be review. Quadrant two is counterclockwise. Remember, the clock moves this way. That would be clockwise. Let me write that. Clockwise. The counterclockwise is the other way. That's counterclockwise. Counter means against in that context. And when you're in quadrant two, x is negative and y is positive, right? Quadrant 3 is right below it. Let me see if I can have a little room here. Quadrant 3 is below it, and you'll have a negative x and a negative y. And then down here is quadrant 4. Those are Roman numerals, by the way. And quadrant 4 is a positive x and a negative y. If you know those two things and know which way you're going, and one more thing you need to know 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Oops. That doesn't look like 90 degrees. Excuse me. 90 degrees moves one quadrant. And then 180 degrees moves two quadrants. All right. If they ask you to go 270, you could move 3 quadrants if you wanted to. All right, so you've got those things. Hopefully you've taken a little bit of notes on that, written that down, have that somewhere. You can use the graph paper I gave you in class as a model if you want. All right, now I'm going to jump over here, I think, yep, right there. And I am going to rotate this shape 90 degrees clockwise. I have to tell you all this. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise, otherwise you can't do it. Okay, and I'm going to note the coordinates here. I know that A, oops, I want to be in black, excuse me. A is at the coordinates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. A is at negative 7, 4. Okay, I'm going to write all these down. I'm going to pause the video so you don't have to watch me do it. Okay, so there are my coordinates. A is at negative 7, 4. B is at negative 4, 7. C is at negative 3, 4. D is at negative 4, 2. And E is at negative 4, 4. Now, we're going to go 90 degrees clockwise, which means we are going to move this way one quadrant. This way, one quadrant. So we're currently in quadrant 2, and we're going to move to quadrant 1. And remember, in quadrant 1, we have positive x and positive y. Okay, hold on one sec. Okay, so I'm going to list my coordinates right here. Now watch how simple this is. When I'm going 90 degrees, all I have to do is, okay, here's all I have to do. I'm going to make the 7 and the 4 switch places. So I'm going to write 4, 7. Now, I know I'm in quadrant 1, and in quadrant 1, x is positive and y is positive, so A prime will be at 4, 7. So I'm going to go from the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to be sure to call it A prime. Now watch, this is so cool, it's going to draw itself. B is at negative 4, 7. For a 90-degree rotation, all I do is switch the numbers, and then I say, well, I'm in quadrant 1, they both have to be positive. If I was in quadrant 3, they'd both be negative. If I was in quadrant 4, x would be negative, x would be positive, and y would be negative. All right, so let me do B prime. Sorry, B prime. 1 second. Okay, so B will be at 7, 4. So let me count 7, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's B prime. C is at negative 3, 4. So C prime, I switch the 4 and the 3, and because I'm in the first quadrant, they're both positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that'll be C prime. Now let's check it out. Are A and C in the original one on the same line? They sure are. And look at this. Now they're on the same vertical line. All right, D, I switch them, 2 and 4. I'm in the first quadrant, so therefore they're both positive. So D is going to be at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there's D prime. And then E prime is at negative 4, 4. I switch them to 4 and 4 and keep them both positive because I'm in the first quadrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so there's E prime right there. Now, somebody say, I don't know how this shape's going to look like. Watch it, it'll draw itself. It's going to draw itself. I'm going to go from A prime to B prime, B to C, C to D, D to E, and then back to A. And there you go. It turned 90 degrees. Yeah, isn't that simple? All right, let's go ahead and look at another one. This time, we'll take this red one here, and we'll go 90 degrees. We're going to rotate 90 degrees counter clockwise. Okay, I'm going to fill out the coordinates of A, B, C, etc. So you can check me on this. Looks like A is at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A is at 1, 5. B is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5. C is at 5. No, it's only at 4. 4, 3. D is at 4, 4. And that's it. Okay. Draw my little line, and I'm just going to use the coordinates. Now I know, remember, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, and I'm going clockwise 90 degrees. So I'm going to move one quadrant that way, and here x is negative and y is positive. So I'm just going to switch my coordinates and then use the right sign. So A prime, switch the coordinates, but the x has to be negative because I'm in the second quadrant. B prime, switch the x and y, make x negative. C prime, switch x and y, make x negative. D prime, switch x and y, make x negative, and there you go. So A is going to be at 5, negative 1. A prime, that is 1, negative 5, 1, excuse me. A prime is at negative 5, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. There's A prime. B is at negative 5, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's B prime. All right, C is negative 3 prime. Negative 3, 4. C prime is negative 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's C prime. And then D is at negative 4, negative 4. D prime. 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is D prime. I go A to B, B to C, C to D, and then back to A, and there you go. It looks like it's pointing down if that's the nose of a person, and now it's pointing to the right, and that is a 90-degree turn. All right, pretty simple stuff. I'll tell you what, let's do a 180-degree rotation now. Let's take this green one, and 180-degree rotation is even easier. 180-degree rotation. So we're going to go 180 degrees. And I don't have to tell you if it's clockwise or counterclockwise, because either way you're going to move 2 quadrants. So you're going to end up the same place, regardless of which way you go. So again, I'm going to get A, B, C, D. Okay, so there is the coordinates of A, B, C, and D. Now for 180-degree rotation, it's simple. All you do, change the signs. Well, A is 0, 0, so it just stays 0, 0. B is 1, negative 4. It'll be negative 1, 4. These are primes, by the way. C prime, you just change the signs. Negative 6, 4. D prime is going to be negative 2, positive 3. Those are the new points. 90-degree rotation, you switch X and Y, and you give them their sign based on the quadrant you're in. 180-degree rotation, you keep them the same, but you switch their signs. You don't replace X and Y. So A prime is going to be the same place. B prime is going to be at -1, +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's B prime. All right, C prime, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there's C prime. And then D prime is -2, +3. 1, 2, 3. And there is D prime. Connect A to B, B to C, C to D, and D back to A. And there's a 180-degree rotation. This is so simple, guys. You got to remember, for a 90-degree rotation, okay, you switch X and Y, and then you do your signs based on the quadrant. Okay, based on the quadrant. And remember, this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And if you end up in quadrant 1, you'll have positive X, positive Y. If you're in quadrant 2, you have -X, positive Y. Quadrant 3, they're both negative. And quadrant 4, you have positive X and -Y. And there you go. Now, for 180-degree rotation, which is actually easier, for 180-degree rotation, all you do is switch the signs. That's it. Switch the signs. We're rotating about the origin for all of these, by the way. All right, that's it. If you need to watch it again, please do so. Come in prepared, because what we're going to do tomorrow is I'm going to give you a problem, and if you get it right, you're going to get to start the homework. If you don't get it right, then you're going to have to go through some lesson. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.